Hello and welcome to my channel. Today you are joining me at my bookshelf because we are doing a library book haul. So this entire section here is library books. All library books that I have acquired within the last 3 visits. Did I get a little excited? Yes. Am I also a little delulu and a little bit competitive to believe that I very well could finish all of these before April 30th? I am. And I'm going to hold on to that delusion for a little bit longer. But we're going to go through each book in my library haul. We're going to talk about the ones that I've read, the ones that I've started, the ones that I hope to finish before the end of the month, and then the ones that I hope to finish just before I have to bring them back to the library. So let's get into it. So first, we are going to start off with probably one of my favorite things that I have read within the last 6 months, maybe within the last year. This is Mary's Monster, Love, Madness, and How Mary Shelley Created Frankenstein by Lita. When I tell you that I finished this book within 2 days, and the only reason it took me 2 days is because I'm a wife and a mom, so I had to pause to do wife and mom stuff in the middle of reading this, but I loved this book. First of all, when I picked it up, your girl was a little bit nervous because I was like, look, I don't do no horror stuff, I don't do scary movies, I'm a church girl, that's not my thing. But it is not that vibe. Of course, she wrote Frankenstein, so it has a little bit of that vibe. But it's not like scary, gory, gross. It's very, like, poetic. They're not what you're thinking to where it's, like, scary, movie, gross, zombie, guts, everything. You know, it's, like, dark because her life is dark and because she's going through, like, a lot of hardship, especially with this man that be taking her through it. But I loved this. This was incredible. Writing was 10 out of 10. The illustrations were 10 out of 10. It's a beautiful book. Like, look at that. And then I really like how it's written like poetry and like, you know, like little sonnets. It's just incredible. I really felt very drawn into Shelley's life. I felt very much drawn into like how she's processing things and being a young girl and just trying to navigate life, trying to navigate love, and there being a lot of things that she didn't expect to happen, but absolutely loved it. 10 out of 10 was incredible. Another book that I read but I don't have physically because I had to return it to the library, so I will attach it here, is called Hera, and I forgot the author, so forgive me, but once again I'll have it attached here so you can see it. But I wanted to love it. I wanted to love it so bad because I really like Greek mythology retellings. I find them really interesting. I love reading about the human condition and why people choose to do what they do. And I feel like Greek mythology always has like a really interesting perspective into that. But it was intriguing at first. I will say the first couple chapters, maybe the first 3-4 chapters, once again, I was like picking it up every night. A lot of times with my books, I dibble and dabble. I have like 3 books that I go through every couple of nights, and that's how I finish them. But I really liked Hera, so I kind of stuck with it for a couple of nights. But then like middle of the book just took a different direction. I think what it was is, in my opinion, I don't think that the author was entirely clear on what she wanted to do or where she wanted to take Hera. I think she did want to give Hera a different perspective, which I appreciated. She's known as just like this jealous wife that does horrible things because she's jealous of the women that Zeus is sleeping with, but it literally made her as much of a monster as Zeus is. And I felt like that wasn't what she was trying to do, or they were trying to make it to where it's like, well, you feel bad for her, and you do feel bad for her because no one should be married to a horrible man and have to deal with that. But it's like the answer to that is not also being a horrible person, you know? And so it was like the ends don't justify the means. Like, I don't really get what we're doing, you know? And so it was like, there were parts of it that I really liked, like she has this relationship with her children that I find to be really interesting, the dynamics between each of her children. She has these like monster children, and that was like really beautiful. But Yeah, I think I would try something else that the author has written because I think that she's a great writer. I just didn't love the direction that the story was taking, you know. So let's get to the books that I would like to complete before the end of the month. So that is this entire stack of books here. So we're actually going to start at the bottom. Magician's Nephew. So I am a huge C.S. Lewis fan. Huge C.S. Lewis fan. I just finished reading The Great Divorce. And my wonderful mother had this series of books at my house when I was a child, and I did not read them. It was before my reading phase, but now I'm like, gosh, how cool would it have been to still have that set of books that my mother bought me. Especially these versions, because I don't know if you guys know, but they just are making a new set that's coming out. I follow a whole Narnia podcast. I will link that below because I find it so interesting. And on YouTube, they actually went through comparing each of the different covers of the Narnia. So don't know if you guys are fantasy nerds like I am, but if you are, I will tag that below because I found all the cover comparisons very interesting. So then when I picked up this cover, I was like, ooh, this is one of the ones that's talked about. But anyway, very excited about this. I probably will finish this rather quickly, but look at the like pretty map. I love a book map. I love a book map. So very excited about that one. Next one we will get into, maybe I should change the way that I do this and not grab them from the bottom. But this one is called How to Be Old by the icon Lynn Slater. I am a fashion girly, as you can see with my sewing machine down there. And I really have loved, I'm only a few pages into it. And I have the large print because that's the copy that my library had. But I really loved and was interested in learning about her story. It really is cool because so much happened later on in her life. She was a social work professor, and fashion was a really big pivot for her. And so I love stories that are about reinventing yourself. I love stories that are about embracing your personal journey. I very much am on a journey of embracing my truest self and my most authentic self. And I just feel like older women are in this place in their life to where they're like, look, I don't care that much. Like, y'all can feel how you feel. And I'm trying to get on that vibe. So very excited to finish this one. Next, we will go with this one that I have started. It is called How to Winter by Kari Leibovitz. Very interesting. She went to Norway because Norway has long winters. You know, they had a couple of months with long winters and really no sunlight. But Norway doesn't really get the winter blues like Americans do. So she went over there to do a study to see what helps people do winter well. And so I thought this would be interesting because I thought, you know, we're coming out of winter. I love to take time to reflect on the previous season, but not just winter, also like heavy emotions that represent winter, like grief or slower seasons of life. And so I thought it would be really cool to learn, you know, any of the tools that she would have in here for how to winter well, how to deal with grief or slow change or feeling like things are stagnant in a healthy way. So excited to finish this one. And then the last one that I would absolutely like to finish this month is called The Deep. It's by River Solomon with David Diggs, William Hudson, and Jonathan Snipes. So this one and The Magician's Nephew I actually just picked up from the library today. Once again, smaller read, so I definitely think that I'll be able to get through it. But I am very excited about this. I have something in the works that is mermaid related that you will find out later. And so I'm trying to read and study as much mermaid lore as possible. Anyone who knows me personally knows that I've been obsessed with mermaids since my existence. But I just really love the idea of mermaids having bravery and being strong and really embracing their femininity and using their femininity as their power, you know. And so I'm really excited about that. So we will see how this goes. Now, these next ones are ones that I would like to finish before the end of the month, but we'll see. It's not a huge deal if I don't. My library allows you to keep the book as long as you know, someone else doesn't need it. It can renew up to 3 times, so I have some time with these. But if I, you know, get done those ones early, most of these are relatively small ones. this book was a bigger book, and then when I read Hera was absolutely a bigger book. Oh my gosh, it was like 400 pages or something. So with these being smaller ones, I should be able to get through those. So I might be able to get through these. So because I finished the backstory with Mary Shelley, I just figured I might as well read Frankenstein. Now, here's the thing. I am a mood reader. So if Frankenstein is a little bit heavy, we're going into spring, we're going into flowers, we're going into lightness. And even though I do like heavy concepts because I am a deep person, if I feel like this is too heavy, I might park it and then pick it up at Halloween sometime maybe. But we'll see. So we'll see. Then this next one is called Everybody's Favorite, Tales of the This next one is called Everyone's Favorite, Tales from the World's Worst Perfectionist, Lillian Stone. I am very much a recovering perfectionist, so I liked the concept. Also a smaller book. I flipped through it really quickly while I was at the library, and it sounded intriguing. I also liked the cute little illustrations that are on some of the pages. So we will see. This is also a mood one, so if I'm feeling it, I'll read it. If not, then I'll go ahead and park it. And then these next ones I would definitely finish. These are more so like flip through books. This one is called Hill House Living. I love Paula Sutton, another fashion icon on this list. She has this gorgeous house out in the English country, and it's just vibes. And so she's talking about her story and how she left like the high busy fashion London world to like a more simpler life, you know, with her cute little house, and I just love it. And I feel like it's very like homemaker vibes. So I definitely want to look how cute she is. Definitely will be finishing this one because it's just a cute little flip through. Another flip through that I am very excited about is Women Walking. So if you don't know, I am a huge Pride and Prejudice fan, and one of my favorite lines, she says, I'm quite fond of walking, and he says, I know. One of my favorite lines. So I loved this because it shows all these beautiful art pieces of people walking, women walking, and then it has like information on them. And so I was hoping that through this I could find some pretty art pieces that I could find the prints of to actually hang here in my studio, because I thought that would be cool. So I'll definitely finish this one because I'm very excited about that. Now, lastly, we have got this very big stack of, quite honestly, books that will become my my May TBR. So I won't show you all of them because if they do end up being on my May TBR, then I will add them to that video. But this is where my Delulu is coming in. So if I somehow magically finish all of these, or maybe for some reason end up not loving one of these and decide to TBR it, then I would pick up one of these. The first one that I would pick up, the first one that I would pick up, probably because I would like a redo after Hera for a Greek god retelling. This one is called The Silence of the Girls by Pat Barker. Very, very highly acclaimed book. So I want to try this one out to see. I want a really good Greek goddess retelling. If you know one, please drop it in the comments because I would love to know. And if you read this and you loved it, please let me know. If you read it and you hated it, also let me know because I would love to know. So in my Delulu mind, I finished all of that. I would also like to at least dip my toe in this, you know, get a chapter or two to see what the vibe is. Next one in my Delulu mind would be Again But Better. This was so cute. I've only read the first 25 pages of it, but I just really like the vibe, and sometimes you just need like a cute little light something. This also feels like spring to me. It's kind of like a second chance story, you know, the girl's in college, she's trying to figure out her life. This is by Christine Rico. I'm sorry if I forgot to say the authors, but I'll make sure that I always show them so that you guys know which authors I'm showing. But yes, another Delulu if I magically have time in April. But if not, for May, these will probably be the first two books that I pick up. So the rest of these, I know that you can see them, but I'm not going to discuss them. Oh, one more actually that I will discuss. This one is called upscale, another flip through book that I will definitely be flipping through as soon as I get a chance. I am on my journey of becoming a sewing girl, and so I just really liked how this book, first of all, it's so cute, but it also just is laying out how to do some practical sewing stuff really well. I want to be able to go to the thrift store and upcycle some shirts, some dresses, really make them, give them a little bit of a personal touch. I'd love to learn how to like embroider or add my future business logo onto some things. And so yeah, or even just add my name or my husband's name or my son's name and like the inside of their shirt or something in a really cool way. So this is another flip through book that I would love to get to. If I can't get to it, once again, I should have some time in early May to do it. But yes, really quick run through what these other ones are, because you can see them. Triangle by Danielle Steele, The Majority by Elizabeth Silver, Legend Born, which of course all you guys know, Legend Born, and then a book on shadow work, and then this book that's called The Year of Second Chances by Laura Avery. So that is my entire library haul. And honestly, my goal and my reasoning for my Delulu of bringing these 500,000 books home is that I really do want to spend less time on my phone. I want 2025 to be the year of creativity, of making, of learning, of reading. And I just love reading. It makes me so much happier than just scrolling on TikTok, especially after a long day working and momming and wifing. So yes, please let me know if you've read any of the books on here. Let me know your thoughts. And I will be back the 1st of May with saying how we did, which ones I got done, which ones I'll be hoping to get done at that point. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you like more content like this, and I'll talk to you soon.